Hello, good afternoon. Well, we have another storm coming in. That one last night that I was showing you the lightning of moved just north of us and we got very little rain, but it looked pretty bad. This one is a big red blotch on the radar. It's supposed to be high winds, warning, weather warning, possible hail, strong winds, lightning, etc. So here we go. Missed us yesterday, but I don't think it's gonna miss us today. You can see up high. Here comes the wind. And you can feel it cooling down on the temperature. But what else is going on? What a mess, huh? What a mess. You know, people want to talk about abortion. It's a very sticky topic because morality is so messed up in societies. It's the one case where we don't want to use science for any part of it except for the use of, unfortunately, the child for scientific purposes after the mother aborts the child. Anyway, I could say a lot of things about this. I'll tell you my own personal opinion, and you can definitely take it or leave it, but for my heirs out there, my children and their children and their children who may hear this one day, it's you I'm talking to, and I really want you to hear me. In 2022, we're in a really bad place in the United States and of America and across the world. They believe that when you have an egg and a sperm and they meet, it just creates something called a fetus. And that fetus is something that can be discarded through an abortion. In some states, even past the birth date, 30 days, like in California, what they're trying to do. If you think of this logically, and in 2022 you have a lot of commercials about dogs and saving animals and things like that, which naturally tugs at people's hearts. Unfortunately, a lot of these companies misuse the donations, and a very small portion goes to actually helping the animals. A lot of them just lie in their pockets, and that's with anything. So if you're going to help anybody, you need to be helping them directly. But my point is that if people have to abort a litter of puppies, you'll see more emotion and defense than you will for a human child inside a mother's womb in a lot of cases. I can't explain it. It's very bizarre. It's so bizarre that it's been done since, it's been in place, and I'm not going to mention the R versus W. But anyway, it's been in place nearly my whole life. So when I was growing up, and my high school years would have been the 80s, abortion was shameful. It was an answer. Many saw as an answer, but it was shameful. now in 2022, it's not shameful anymore. There's a complete disconnect between what it is, what they're doing, what it actually is that they're doing, these women. And my concern is, through my own experience and knowing people who have had abortions, which I have not, that it causes a great psychological damage to these women who really have a conscience. And for those that it doesn't bother, I kind of wonder about their core character. It is not something to be taken lightly, and nor do I really think it should be an option. But see, we've run into a conundrum here. We have a society that is not set up to where people have self-respect for themselves and women actually control themselves and take more pride in themselves and be more selective of who it is that they will partner with for the rest of their lives instead of on a temporary, pleasurable basis. But unfortunately, since the me generation of the 70s and actually the late 60s, Marxism started coming in, and that's a whole nother avenue. But anyway, when it came more about the pleasure of the individual instead of the good of the whole society, and holding families together so that you have a well-structured environment, a loving environment, hopefully for the children, everything fell apart, along with bringing in welfare, getting the men out of the homes. So our society it needs a complete overhaul. And do understand, I'm not talking about women who could possibly die from childbirth because there's something wrong, or there's something wrong with the fetus and it's not viable, or in certain circumstances you have incest, rape, but those are less than 5% of what actually happens in the United States. The callousness of how people view this is bothersome to me. I just don't think spiritually, when you're talking about eternity, without remorse and some really true understanding about what you're really doing here when you choose something like that, and it has an effect for the long haul, for you personally and for the society as a whole. I just don't think people truly get it, and the spiritual damage that it's going to cause for you personally for eternity. And that's my opinion. The rain's here. Y'all have a nice rest of the day. Bye for now.